So here I am back live talking about these fraudsters again and again on my day off because I ain't got no choice but to clean up their dirty work all the time. But I'm only on here for a short message uh, because I want to say I meant what I said. I'm still locked out of my jalensko@gmail.com email address. I'm still not able to use my 434-515-2856 number because they blocked me out of it. And I'm not able to use my iCloud address, nouveaugal4@iCloud, because the fraudsters have access to it. The other day when I went live on Wednesday, I was live for a little over an hour, and they stole my video after they downloaded it, of course, to secure for their own purposes. But I have blocked them as much as I can between Wednesday and today. Of course, they have people still doing favors for them, favors that I've never asked for or requested. These court clerks, Jaffa and the organized crime group, have stolen my birth certificate from my house. They're stealing documentation from the Franklin County Courthouse. They're still doing that. It's nothing I can do because I don't work at the courthouse and I'm not a part of organized crime. But the clerk attendant is a slim black woman. She is about 5'7", and she wears bad extensions for the most part. She's followed me around quite a few times, so I know exactly what she looks like. She's the one that's been stealing my thing, what I'm going through constantly with Jaffa and this organized crime group with these estranged family members. But since they committed all this fraud, this PPP fraud, I'll be going online and taking care of them again. Jaffa's fraud has been reported, so I do not care about the elites that help them. The information I provided is foolproof. So if you want to keep making phone calls that cause harm in my life directly by helping him, that's totally fine too. If I do not get my refund that I validly paid for from my Chase bank account with the cashier's check, I will be entitled to double. So what Jaffa did, knowing dang on well, contacting the landlord, what he did was wrong. He's not entitled to that $1,495. I should have had it by now. It is the 30th of January. When I was through and I moved out of that house, I updated the direct deposit information for the deposit to be directly put into my account. It has not been. It's January 30th. It has not been. I made this clear via email, not only just through the app. I made it very clear. And when I sent the email, I made it clear that I paid with the cashier's check out of my checking account, out of my savings account with Chase Bank. And I paid it directly to Clay. Jaffa was nowhere near present when I did the walkthrough with Clay and paid the security deposit to secure the home. He was not present. He did not provide any funds towards that security deposit that had my name on it, again, from my savings account. So this is the thing, Jaffa pays everybody, and they've been lying and lying and lying, flying and getting highing, lying, flying and getting highing. And they have this group of people that will do exactly what they say, even though I've made it clear where I have been with this since I moved out of the house. I made it clear. The option in the app requested the direct deposit to be made. You had the option to mail the check out. I selected direct deposit. I have not received it. It doesn't make any sense because I made it clear. I've also made it clear to everyone, whether it was the utility people, the bank people, and everything else, including the landlord, that my identity has been stolen. Jaffa is part of organized crime. He sold my identity to his business friends, and they were running DoorDash accounts and everything else in my name and in Jaffa's name. He had no problem doing it. He had no problem doing it. So they're watching everything I'm doing. They're deleting my videos when I go live. They're hacking my emails, blocking me out of my emails that show the proof. And this is very disappointing because every single person keeps following them down the wrong road. Everything I said has been correct. Everything I've said has been true. It does not need a magnifying glass. But yet and still, these criminals keep pulling strings. These criminals keep having conversations. When Jaffa stole my birth certificate, and he's still trying to steal money from me that doesn't belong to him. That's all he did throughout the entire marriage, was steal every single thing from me. And like I said, Jaffa was at least somewhat stable when I met him. He told me he had about $4,500 in his Bank of America account. I had about $10,000 in my account. I keep saying the same thing, and that is fine. He told me his uncle owned part of the little, mechanic shop he was working at. So I did see him as stable. We didn't have much. It's not like we went off into the sunset and had a honeymoon for a week and we did this and we did that. We did not. It took Jaffa a little over a month to even buy me a wedding ring. And he bought it from K Jewelers at Town and Country in Whitehall. He did not have the money to buy a wedding ring when we got married. He gave me my wedding ring on May 15th of 2023. We got married April 7th. Like I said, he didn't have any money. He had a couple thousand, like normal. He had only lived in Columbus from October 2022. So he was a non-citizen. How much money was he supposed to have? He was working at a mechanic shop. He had money that kept him somewhat stable, which is great. Again, I was a regular American. I had about 6 months of bills in my account, and that's what I kept normally. Jaffa was very irresponsible during the marriage, and as soon as we got through our immigration interview, like I said before, a couple of months after that, that's when he started using my social security number and my identity, him and his business partners. I have been through a very unfair one-way marriage, whereas Judge Noble said, oh, okay, a short-term marriage, you're not entitled to anything. But Jaffa was entitled to do everything digitally, criminally in my name, and then keep it going with the most unethical lawyers I ever seen. These people have failed me entirely. The entire Ohio justice system has failed me completely. And he's still going behind my back trying to steal money from me. He's stolen so much in my name that it's ridiculous. He still is stealing money. I just don't understand. But people don't see him as a thief. I'm a black woman, so I'm already stereotyped as a thief, even though I pay for everything on my own. And like I said the other day, my credit cards are high right now because I constantly had to throw away food, hair products, toothpaste, lotion, Vaseline, because they were coming into my house. Jaffa gave them access to my house, to our house. They were coming in and poisoning every single thing they could find, including Jaffa. So I had no choice but to throw away expensive products and go back out week after week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month, to actually get the same products again, to which he would break into the house and poison the same things again to try to make me look bad, to try to make me look like I'm crazy, to try to make me look like I got bad hair. This is insane, because I've never even looked, I ain't never looked down. Not when I was younger, not as I grew up into my 20s and 30s, but in my 40s, like, give me a break. It's such foolery. To me, I was so very happy and supported him once he got a real valid truck route. So happy and supported him. Wasn't asking him, oh, as soon as you get paid, I want a purse that's $500. As soon as you get paid, buy me a new car. As soon as you get paid, I want this and I want that. We were talking about saving money, and that's what we were doing. At least that's what I thought. He was deceiving me the whole entire marriage. It is a terrible thing what Jaffa has done and continues to do. He's still trolling. You better believe he's still trolling, because he don't have anything else better to do. That's the best thing he can do. That's the best thing he can do, is steal from a black woman. He stole so much money. Why wouldn't anybody just give him my money and make me seem irresponsible? That's what he's getting. He's getting my money that's owed to me that has nothing to do with him. He's gotten his way all the time. The courts backed him up. The elites backed him up. They did all types of medical fraud. They did all types of insurance fraud. They gang stalked me in the community forever. Like, I've been gang stalked by Jaffa, his Latino connections, the estranged family members, literally since November 2024. I was even gang stalked by that police officer that's working with them, that drives the cruiser with the number 0134 here in Columbus, Ohio. He was even gang stalking me. These people, Jaffa's group of identity thieves, they have so much going on in this crime ring group. Like, and they won't even stop. Not a single hour they can go without me. They can't go a single hour without interfering with my live streams, without calling me everyday unknown, without calling me, without selling my information. And this is supposed to be me? I think's not. And like I said, I never had no past. You got a past. No, no, no. I'm 42 years old. I just lived a simple life, a simple but decent life with taste, because I didn't steal from anybody. I didn't rub shoulders with people and ask for 1,000 favors. If I did, right, and I was so favored, where are they at now in my time of need? Where were those people at when I filed divorce? If I had so many people pulling strings for me, where were they at? These people have committed so much organized crime. They break into my YouTube live stream feed. Like last year, they were breaking into my YouTube live stream feed so that my live stream would slow down or stop, because when you're getting a phone call, it kind of slows down and disconnects the feed until the call is made. They constantly did that. They constantly just had my phone cloned, did whatever they wanted to do. They're still doing it today. It is a shame that what I'm finding out with people who are getting identity fraud committed against them, that it goes so deep. Like, it goes so deep. And the way that they can block you with friends and people that you used to know with false information is insane. And because they have a ring of people doing it and a ring of people saying it, these people have broken into every home that I've lived in the last 5 years. My birth certificate was stolen from my home. It's going to cost me $53 to get it back. $53 that I do not have. While Jaffa just walked in the house and stole it. He walked in the house and stole my birth certificate. I mean, he ain't been nothing but a thief the whole damn marriage. I was just sitting there being comfortable, coming home, doing what I have to do, taking care of me and my pets. I barely had the money today to get my fish food and to get the filters for their tank. Barely had the money to do it. So I was counting on this refund of my security deposit so I could make sure I could get through. I'm going to get through regardless, because I don't borrow and beg. I'm not used to that. I'll never get used to that. It's not part of my personality. I absolutely do not care. But them breaking into my home has had my pets stressed out. When we lived on Parsons Avenue, I would come home, the doors would be loose, the doorknobs, the deadbolts would be loosed. I spent $600 replacing lock after lock after lock to try to keep my home secure. I wasted money only because every single time I changed the locks, they still broke in. My pets would be stressed out. I would come home, they would have so many feathers they've plucked from their chest on the floor. And if you have birds, you know exactly what I mean when they get stressed out, when they can't do things that, would help keep themselves safe. It stresses them out, so they pluck their feathers from their chest. I had to let Telia go last week. And 2 days before I let Telia go, her and Sunny were eating the dead leaves out of the plant that I had for them. I have a little plant for them where they can get nutrients from the leaves. Instead of them eating the healthy leaves, they were eating the dead ones that have fallen apart in the plant box. I was very stressed, but I also know how they stress, and I'm used to them because I've had birds for almost 10 years. I don't know what was stressing them out, but to find Telia on the floor 2 days later, after looking at them be stressed out for days, was heartbreaking. It's hard for me to hold back the tears knowing that my pets went through the same hate that I went through. I'm human, and I reached out for support with the proper authorities, every branch of the proper authorities, so that I didn't have to go live. This is embarrassing, me having to put this information on my YouTube channel, having to put this information about these crimes that Jaffa and his friends committed during the whole entire marriage on my YouTube and LinkedIn channels. This because I even need a second job, because I don't have credit debt. Let me say this. I don't have credit debt. I have credit cards that I'm paying on. But as far as credit debt, no. I have to work 2 jobs and I'm trying to secure a second job, which is going to be very hard because any employer that looks onto my LinkedIn profile is going to look and see what I'm actively going through. But in no way, shape, or form can I reduce that information. I cannot take it off because this is the proof that I have about Jaffa stealing my information. And like I said, I never cheated on Jaffa during the marriage. I never committed adultery. We never had, he should not have been seeing anyone. If I'm 40 something years old, why would I give my good years, my 39 to 42, so he can have open relationships with multiple people and then give those people multiple permission, each one of his different lovers, to harm my life, to follow me around this city, to gang stalk me around this city. And then they go and brag to everyone, oh, look at this car that Jaffa bought me. Jaffa don't love her. She's a criminal. That's my man. He ain't doing nothing for her. They knew all of my business because Jaffa told them. And then like a hater, they went and blabbed their mouth. I'm not a hater. I like to keep things private. Any real person keeps things private. Throughout my whole entire life, it didn't matter if I went to Vegas in 2013, 2015. I wasn't online telling people this is what I'm doing. I wasn't online every time my bird did a flip and putting it online. It makes no sense. I'm an adult. And I might talk about it, but it doesn't mean that that rules the day. It doesn't rule my life. I'm not someone who trans. Jaffa has put me in an embarrassing situation where unless I blast them online constantly, then later on I won't have the proof to dig them in. I meant what I said. I made it clear when I moved out of the house on December 31st what I needed and what I had done. Everyone that I've been in communication with, they know. The jobs I've worked, I've told them my phone is cloned. This is why I try to protect my information as much as possible, because it's not fair that people that I work with and I have their contact information in my phone, that Jaffa in this group who is organized crime have my phone cloned, can see everything. They can see the emails being sent by my employer. They can see their contact information. And in return, they can send them false information, fake videos that they've created with AI. AI looks so real. Why wouldn't someone think it was me, whatever, in any position? Because they were showing pictures of me being in my house, videos of me being in my house, videos of them being in my house when I was not there. I have not been involved with them Fleshmans since, like I said, New Year's Eve 2017. And I have not seen my father physically, been in contact with him since early 2018 when he tried to marry his third wife or whatever. And I refused to go to the wedding. Goodbye, I'm not coming. I didn't go, I didn't see him anymore. We communicated very little in 2020 when Norman Jr. got out of jail, which was like the middle of May, right after Mother's Day that year. And he invited me to a little party they were having since he got out. I said, no, I'm not coming. Sparingly have I communicated with them. That's the story. They have lied because they have access to my emails because of Jaffa. They had access to my house. The Fleshmans had access to my emails and my information because of Jaffa. He was doing all types of crime with them, all types of organized crime with the Franklin County courthouse clerks. He was doing all types of crime with my former co-workers from Metropolitan. All of it. And like I said, they laugh too about bragging about this. Oh, it don't matter what she say. We got connections with police department. They was fucking right, because they totally ignored all the police reports that I reported last year with clear evidence and clear information with people's first and last name and all types of stuff. They were right about those connections because never once did the police follow up with me. I did this when I found out that Jaffa made it clear in April of 2025 that he did something with my information in summer of 2024, in spring of 2024. He would not give me the information, but he was trying to beg me not to divorce him because it was going to mess everything up. Mess up what? All the stuff that the crime you did in my name that I knew nothing about? What you gonna do, delete this video too? It don't matter. I'm gonna go live again and again and again, and I'm gonna talk about you. Every post that I put on my YouTube channel is about you. It wasn't about no other man. Y'all may have presented some other man, but that man wasn't attached to me. Not to my face, you can't present that information. Your AI videos is not who I am. Your AI generated conversations is not who I am. In no way, shape, or form have I been violent. And like I said, everyone knew me forever. There wasn't anybody I introduced Jaffa to. I did not introduce him to a single fleshman here in Columbus, Ohio, nor in Virginia. I never introduced him to anyone digitally. And like I said, I never had a Facebook page when me and Jaffa were together. So when he was interacting with these Facebook pages that was Jessica Younger, it was part of his organized crime group with Alexis Hawkins and Leroy Madden and all of them. All of these people were able to create all these profiles and do all of these things. Yes, that was them. I'm a peaceful person. I never had a reason to get involved in organized crime. They had no proof that I did. And like I said, none of them will say a word to me because they know what they did. They know the fact is I perform at a high level. I do not perform at no low level. I'm not no low life. I know exactly how I lived. I've passed many, many tests, regardless of what they were, in any profession and anything else. So make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, make it make sense. Your medical fraud, make it make sense. Because it's not me. It's not consistent with my Ohio health records. It's not consistent. Before I met Jaffa or after I met Jaffa, make it make sense. How these unethical lawyers were a part of the organized crime. And like I said in my other last posting and the postings before that, they didn't pay all of this money to commit organized crime so I can get justice later on. They committed fraud with ODJFS too, and like I said, all they did was make a phone call and send an email. This is all they keep doing is cleaning up the work with the money that they stole from me. Nobody had a problem with me prior to this marriage. I talked actively with my mom's side of the family. I visited them actively. If people passed away, I came to the service. I sent flowers when the babies was born. I sent money. I sent gifts. I did it all. I did it all. Only for them to want to be a part of the gossip train. The gossip train. They had no reason to. They had no reason to. But it was worth it for them somehow, some way, or whatever. And I'm not worried about the comments. See these comments here that's being made? These are the same people that were making cyber stalking comments when I was at the gym at Planet Fitness. And I don't know if they know. I don't care because I'm not scared of anyone. No. There is no person in this world I would not approach. I don't care. I don't care who it is. The judge, the mayor, unethical lawyers, gang stalkers, all of that. You're not me. When was I scared of who? It don't live right here. It don't live right here. I don't like being followed. I don't like being mimicked, of course. But that's not something that I have something to do with. So I don't care. You can send your trashy auntie, your trailer track, what do you call it? Trailer trash auntie, who has a gambling problem and a couple dollars to spend. You can send her again. She stink. What was that, Tuesday? She stink. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I will, baby. And like I said, y'all are the same ones. Keep coming into my live stream because all of those accounts I screenshot, and then I included with my police report. Well, keep it coming, honey. Y'all are the ones getting paid with them fake social media accounts. I do not care. And no, baby, that was Jaffa. His nose was leaking in the courtroom bad on December 1st. Oh my God, his nose was leaking so bad. He must have been partying real hard the night before, or maybe even before coming into court. He was partying real hard. Who else y'all gonna pay? Who else y'all gonna pay next to cause fraud, to commit fraud? Huh? Who else you gonna do? Who else you gonna do? Huh? How y'all stealing money? Oh yeah, because y'all have the connections. Y'all just stealing money, faking signatures and all that. Babe, I do not care about these comments, not at all, because they know that I am being cyberstalked and gang stalked by the organized crime group. Everyone does. Everyone does. I send them right to my LinkedIn channel. I'm too consistent. I'm too consistent, baby. Nah, nah, nah. And the West Side Blood Gang, oh, it's y'all. I know you ain't think I was scared of y'all. It's y'all. Oh my God. The West Side Blood Gang. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The cartel, fuck them. Don't nobody care about them Spanish people. I do not care about the cartel and their connections. Jaffa does. The West Side gang members do. It ain't nothing you can say about these comments. Nobody cares. Y'all are liars and y'all have an impersonator, because wherever Jaffa and this group used my information, you didn't have me there. It wasn't me online doing these things. Yeah, that's why y'all stealing my mail. That's why y'all are still stealing my mail. That's why y'all are still doing what you can to block notifications coming into my phone, hacking my emails, keeping me blocked from those too. It doesn't matter. Everything that y'all block, I'm gonna come online and keep on saying that you're blocking. Because y'all aren't the only ones watching. Do you really think that the criminals are the only ones watching? Do you really think that the criminals are the only ones? Nah. I reported it to the feds, everything that Jaffa did, his tax evasion and selling my identity. Baby, I'm foolproof. Foolproof. And I ain't no liar and I ain't no thief. Jaffa already said last year in April that someone stole his money. Said they cleared his account. And was trying to play with me saying, oh, I can't pay the rent for May. I can't pay the rent. Someone stole the money. Someone stole the money. Who stole your money? Who stole your money while I was sitting at home every day across the street from a school? The people that was watching me in the parking lot, Alexis and them, Leroy and them. Yeah. Whatever PPP fraud y'all did, I don't care nothing about that because it's going to be caught up. It's going to be caught up. I don't care who y'all pay. You think I don't see their eyes watching me when I pull up, when I pull out? You can wake up every single day with me on your mind, and you can pay the other people. You can pay everybody else. You can pay everybody else to keep their eyes on me, to cause damage to my car, to do whatever y'all want. I'm not going to stop it because there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to still be me. I ain't changing nothing. Nothing. But I'll continue to correct the mess that y'all made. It's not going to stop. Definitely not going to stop. No. They said I was scared of what? I guess you don't know my ancestors. Baby, you don't know what I study. My intelligence is way higher than what you think. I'm still human, but way higher than what you think. Be right back, fools. Oh, oh yeah. All right, I'm back. Back like the future. back like the future. Same shoe, different sock. I meant what I said. I mean, I'm not knocking the group. Some people need a group to survive. But see, I'm different. I don't. I came from a big family. That was what it was. I came from a big family. But I also grew up responsible, not borrowing and not begging, not faltering on my bills and rent. None of that. I don't care who has said what until you can say it to my face. Not behind closed doors, not behind lawyers who can pull strings in back rooms. You can't validate anything that you've done. The only thing I ever signed with Jaffa was a lease. With Jaffa Abu Beha, the only thing we ever signed together was the lease, which was for 2.5 years. 2 1-year leases and a 6-month lease. Even when we signed that 6-month lease, he was lying. Oh, we can get a house. We can get this. We can get that. He had already had a house and everything. Lying to me, just fronting. Just fronting. And had an apartment in Chicago, in some raggedy ass apartment building. He had already had all of that done last year in May. He had already had his group and everything scheduled. So by the time I wanted to go ahead and file for his neglect, his adultery, that I easily proved, Alpha's attorney did not provide the packet of information to me. She provided it to the court with his income and his assets. And in return, that young black woman at the courthouse, the slim black courthouse clerk with the bad extensions, she blocked that documentation from being mailed to my home. So when we went to court in July, I should have received that information because per the docket information, that information was submitted to the court at the end of May. So I should have been prepared to go to court in July, but I was not. So it didn't make sense why I didn't receive the information, but she hid it, and they also received the payments in December that was supposed to be mine. They stole all of that at the Franklin County Courthouse. They stole all of it, and they're still tampering with my mail today. They didn't tamper with my mail for 2 years at Parsons Avenue just to not tamper with it again where I currently live. On January 3rd, they were knocking at my door at 6:45 in the morning at my new place where I live. And I put it online because they should have never found out where I live. But because they pay everybody to steal information, pay everybody to spy on me, they easily found out. It might have taken a couple of days. And then once they realized my address where I forwarded my mail to, they started tampering with that because there's an active impersonator using my information. So last year, like I said, I worked in a senior community from June to September. Jasmine was following me around in that Mercedes, and she was the one. Her and a couple other people in that group was the ones that was calling my job, harassing my tenants and things like that, because the way they were using my social security number, along with Jaffa's cartel princess, the little young Spanish girl, he probably broke the hell out of her heart too, in a sense, because she got everything that got, actually 5 different women got a lot from Jaffa, as well as 2 different men. 2 different men that he was sleeping with. They were the ones draining Jaffa dry. He sent them all my direction. They didn't know of each other, but I knew who was coming for me. They all received incentives and money and things like that to come up against me the entire time we were married. And here I am, just going to the gym, going to Kroger's, doing what I got to do, not knowing that these people are watching everything through my phone, controlling my phone through this interface that they have, and just being sneaky the entire time. There was no way, even if I could have defended myself, because they were watching me do everything, send every text message. And like I said before, it's embarrassing because I've worked in property management for 10 years, was already knee deep in this field, and I never did anything with any private information that I had in my phone. But they ended up having access to multiple things that were in my phone because they cloned it. Jaffa downloaded something in my phone called R download. It was an R download file, and it was something that could control how you upload videos, download files, send emails and things like that. He was attaching a lot to my iPhone 14, my iPhone XR, and my iPhone 16 that I got. They started cloning that sometime by the end of July last year. Yeah, they started doing that. And it's a shame because they were able to clone my phone. They were able to say certain things with certain people and things like that. But again, no one reached out to me. No one came to my home. And they are working with the CPD. They do have elite people in their back pocket to cover up what they need. And they do get contracts because people believe them. But not a word was spoken to me. And the reason was because they couldn't actually involve me. They can involve the impersonator. And the impersonator could commit these crimes and then go back and say, oh, yes, I'm her. Even Jaffa was with these people saying, oh, this is my wife over here. And it was not me. I was the one not present. When I tell you the nasty things that they did to my property, my car, my food, everything in my home, it went on for years and years and years. I had took care of myself and ate good and healthy my whole life. I had no choice because I had severe hypoglycemia from when I was younger. It carried into adulthood. That was all I had. And when I got approved for Medicaid, it was because I had severe hypoglycemia. My sugar dropped to like 33. Like it was like 33, maybe in the 40s. It took a little bit of time to get up and it was constant. It would just drop so fast. So I got approved for Medicaid for that in 2015. And always kept myself healthy, always ate good. How am I surviving after all of this? Because I was healthy, because I ate good, because I worked out, because I went to sleep. And I sleep 8 to 10 hours a night like I'm supposed to, like a regular individual. I'm not stressed out. I didn't have any reason to stress out. I've always known myself. I've never changed anything. I don't have to. I've worn the same hair color for over 20 years, off and on with my natural hair color. I never had a reason to change. I've gotten the same speeding tickets for 20-some years. I've never had a reason to not be me. I've never been ashamed of being an African American. I am pro-African American. And I respect everybody else. I respect religions because I'm not religious. I don't have a reason to be anti-religious because I'm not religious. I wasn't born religious. It wasn't required of me when I was born to be religious. I studied numerology, metaphysics. I studied Kemet and some Greek mythology too. I studied the Anunnaki because they were in Persia, Iraq, and their creations in history are still today. They are a factual part of history. So is Kemet. I am attracted to history, science, ancient times, and things like that, meaning that those times were not full of religion. When religion came about, and I had this conversation many years ago and just recently, like I said, in religion, and I'm not knocking everybody, they worship animals or sacrifice them in almost any religion. I'm an animal lover. I have no reason to worship them nor sacrifice them. And I'm not knocking it. It's part of people's cultures, traditions, religions, however you want to do it. It's not a part of my intelligence. It's not a part of my intelligence. No. I am simply on a straight path. And if things come across my path, I understand what to do with it for the most part, because I have no reason not to understand what's going normal in my life. It's disappointing that other people can indirectly cause confusion and do things very illegally and use AI to support them, because that's how Jaffa got away with his crimes in the background. This is how they constantly get away with it. But just because I study Kemet, just because I follow more of an ancient tradition of living, especially when it comes to my ancestors, my grandparents, I follow an ancient tradition of living and how I should think about them. When people's parents pass away, they go to their grave a year after they've been passed away and celebrate their birthday or their death day and things like that. And they share their love with them, maybe share their accomplishments with them, or even share their, sadness for how they still feel after losing them. I talk to my grandparents no different in any other way. If you lose somebody that you love, you still talk to them. I just don't go to a graveyard to do it. It doesn't make sense. I spent time with my grandmother when she was living. I talked to her in life. So I don't have to go to a graveyard to see her. Even though when I was there in October 2023, I did buy some flowers for her plot. When I was in Lynchburg, I bought some flowers for her plot, her beautiful stone, and I took a picture by it. But for the most part, I remain close to her. No matter what they do, you cannot separate me from my uncle, my grandparents, my cousins that have passed. That's not how it works. You can't just do something and then, oh, she ain't got him no more. No, 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 babe. It was before any of you ever even existed. Most of y'all ain't even close to my age. So imagine a connection I've had with them for life. You can't disconnect anything. I don't know who you're fooling with your illusional thoughts, your fictional thoughts in mind, your falsehood, but you're not confusing me. I have nothing to do with it. And nor would I change how I act or the way I do things, because I perform at a high level professionally and personally. Yeah, you're not gonna get in the way with that. And like I said, I don't know all of the things that Jaffa did. He did these things with an impersonator throughout the whole entire marriage. But I'm gonna keep burning them down digitally as much as I can. They can say whatever they want. Oh, this, oh, that. You can't prove it to my face. You can go behind closed doors and make all the comments that you want, but you cannot say it to my face. And I'll keep working on y'all. I'll keep working on y'all. I did nothing illegal. I did not give Jaffa any money during the marriage other than half on the bills. And like I said, I did that from time we got married, which we moved in my house. When we first got married, we moved in my house because I lived in a house in Whitehall until we moved to the house on Parsons. And in July 2024 is when he took over the bills. But I paid for everything else with my accounts that show he didn't transfer any money. What a joke. What a joke. Such a criminal. He made criminal activity look good. Y'all all make organized crime look like a piece of cake. I bet y'all feel all secured. Yeah, we hate her. We hate her. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make sure we mess up her life. We're gonna make sure that she is seen as nothing, as devaluable. She ain't gonna have nothing. We gonna create this, we gonna create that, we gonna sneak in her house when she gone, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Oh my gosh. Like I said, even sitting across the street at the school, at the Buckeye Middle School, committing crimes over there is what they did. I have videos of Alexis sitting over there watching my house. I have another video of another woman watching my house too. She's an unethical lawyer from the school parking lot. Baby, they was nonstop. I mean, this was the thing. Even though I'm talking about it, everybody knows they was 24/7 nonstop. There was a black girl in Chicago that Jaffa had doing his dirty work. And another one that came to tour my property with a black man and a black woman back in maybe fall of 2024. They came to the property. She was stealing my identity. A lot of them were, because they were all part of a group that had access to my information because of Jaffa. Jaffa constantly sold my information to distance himself, but also stay directly in connection with the organized crime. So when I watch my YouTube feed, because they're controlling that, I give them back what they give me. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Y'all illegally surveillanced me in both of the homes for a long time. Why would y'all stop now? Y'all got the money to pay everybody, right? Why y'all gonna stop now? Make a phone call. Make a phone call. Send an email. Make a phone call. Do what y'all gotta do. Do exactly what y'all gotta do. Fraudsters. Bye. What did Tigger used to say? Ta ta. Ta ta for now. A bunch of fraudsters. Hopefully enough people caught this video because I know they're going to destroy it. I know they're going to try to delete it as soon as I'm off the phone call. The organized crime group that gained some type of power to use my information, gained it illegally. I don't know these fools. Jaffa know these fools. He's connected to these fools. You can't say nothing about me until you can face me, until I'm the one that is actually in the room. Everything he has done for the last two and a half years was fraud and money laundering. He money laundered using his Bank of America account with his business partner through Dr. Travel Services. We'll see how things go.